Welcome to my show. We're going to go through the Week 11 NFL picks. We already know Chicago spanked Miami pretty bad, but no surprise there. Miami didn't even have a quarterback really on the roster. This week we got Buffalo at Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati. I think Carson Palmer gets back on track. He's really struggling this year, uncharacteristic of him, but last 2 years it's been up and down. But Buffalo, no problem for Cincinnati. T.O. should have a couple TDs. It looks like he's becoming the main focal point as a receiver on that team now. Detroit at Dallas, battle of the big D's. I think Detroit's going to pull it off. And I know a lot of people are giving Dallas a lot of credit about Jason Garrett taking over the team whatsoever. But I think all that goes out the window. I think that was just, to me, it was the same guys playing the other 10 weeks, 9 weeks rather. And in week 10, Dallas showed up. But I don't see that happening the entire rest of the year. But I could be wrong. Maybe they feel rejuvenated. But I think Detroit's starting to pass them a little bit. Washington at Tennessee. Portis is back this week. Don't know how much they're going to use him. But, Washington's kind of up and down right now. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes Washington really looks like a playoff team. Then other times they look like the bums of the league. But I like Tennessee. I think Chris Johnson will have a huge day today. I look for him to have about 130. I said it, about a $130 on the ground today. And I think they get the job done. I think their defense is strong enough to hold down Washington. Arizona is going to Kansas City today. I want to take the Chiefs. The Chiefs started off really hot at the beginning of the season. They looked like they were going to run away with this division. They looked like they were one of the top tier teams in the league. They've failed a couple weeks in a row now. But I think Arizona is the team that they need to get back on track. I think a big win here will really help them because San Diego is starting to push, as always. They always start off slow, and they're pushing hard right now. Green Bay at Minnesota. It's my upset of the week. Minnesota, I think, pulls this out. That's considering Sidney Rice is at least 85%. I think he and Percy Harvin can get the job done for Favre on offense. And I look for that defense in Minnesota to kind of get after Aaron Rodgers this week. I think the defense has really been, missing a little bit. I think Minnesota's just played a lot of uninspired ball. But I think somebody as exciting as a Sidney Rice, I think he will bring a lot more to the table. Anytime Minnesota's playing Green Bay or Green Bay's playing Minnesota, I've played in these games, this rivalry, and it's always one of your best games that you get up for. So I think Minnesota pulls it out. I think they squeak by Green Bay in a close one, like a 24-21 game. I think it's going to be a close one. Houston at the New York Jets. I got another upset. It should be one hell of a matchup seeing Andre Johnson going against Darrelle Revis, but I think Houston has the offense to put some points on the board against the Jets. The problem is how well will Houston's defense handle the Jets? And you got to think, the Jets' offense isn't exactly barn burners here. So I think Houston can bottle up the Jets enough to hold them to about 14 points. And I think Houston scores about 17 points, maybe 21, and wins this game somewhere in that area, 1 to 14. I think they surprised the Jets in New York at that. And I wouldn't be picking them if the weather was bad, but since we have global warming going on, the hot teams, the teams in the South, are winning a lot more games in the North or in the cold areas, and you're going to see that more because the playing field is evening out now with global warming. Oakland at Pittsburgh. Look, this is going to be a tough fight. I think this is going to be a game that's going to be closer than what people think. Nobody's really giving Oakland all the credit that they deserve. But Oakland's a pretty good team. I've been watching them. They're pretty good. Pittsburgh's another level, though. I think Pittsburgh wins this game, but it should be a battle. This should be a good game. Baltimore, Carolina. No surprise there. Baltimore should handily handle Carolina. I think Carolina will be able to run the ball, pass the ball, or do anything. I think Baltimore will probably win this one 24-0, 24-3 or something like that. I really think they'll handle them. pretty well. The fact that it's in Carolina, who knows, they could get a couple scores, but no threat here really for Baltimore. I think Baltimore handles this game fairly easily. Cleveland at Jacksonville. Jacksonville should win this game. Cleveland and Jacksonville, they play some good games sometimes. Cleveland's a better team than what they've been in years before. They can run the ball. Their defense does show up at times. I think Jacksonville is going to keep it on the ground, handle them. And Gerard's playing pretty good. You know, he's not getting a lot of credit, but he's really playing pretty good. He's playing like a top 5 guy in the league right now, quietly out in Jacksonville. If he was somewhere in New York or San Francisco or bigger name team, he'd probably be getting more credit than what he's getting right now. He deserves it. Atlanta at St. Louis. Hey, Atlanta's going to put a little bit more distance on guys that don't win this week, because this to me seems like a checkmark, easy win for Atlanta. They should handle St. Louis pretty much no problem out there. Seattle at New Orleans. New Orleans should stay on their heels. A game behind Atlanta. They should handle this game in the NO. You know, not a lot. We haven't been talking a lot about New Orleans. They're not really setting the league on fire the way they did last year. They're still a top 5 team to me. 6-3. I actually think they're a better team than Atlanta, but Atlanta looks damn good. Tampa Bay at San Francisco should be a very competitive game here. San Francisco may win this game, but I think Tampa Bay is right in that horse of good fortune pretty well. I think they're going to pull it out, win this game. Game of the week has got to be Indianapolis at New England. I like Indianapolis. They've handled New England the last 3-4 times pretty well. I think they'll handle them again. Again, it's in New England, but like I was saying, with global warming going on, it's not exactly the Indianapolis at New England in the snowstorm years ago in the playoffs. I think New England's had some problems with teams that can pass the ball. Their DBs have struggled a little bit. They should struggle against Peyton Manning. Indianapolis is, quietly starting to be Indy again. I like this game. Giants at Philly. Vic, probably the MVP. Vic should handle this game pretty well. He hasn't lost as a starter that he started and finished. Giants should play pretty well coming off that loss. I think they'll be inspired, but I really think this is a game Vic is really going to stamp an MVP sticker onto his wall somewhere. Monday Night Football, Denver at San Diego. Hey, San Diego's, like I said, anytime in the middle of the season or late in the season, you don't want to play San Diego, at least not in the last few years. They play their best ball. If you take the November and December record, they'd be the best team every year. It's January that catches them in the playoffs, and it's September and October that is their Achilles heel. But November, December, these guys are happy. These guys play well. I think they'll handle Denver. Denver really ran up the score on Kansas City last week. That's a good sign for Denver, but Denver's just too up and down. You just never know. And San Diego, really, if you look at them for the whole season, they're up and down. But right now, San Diego's rolling. You can't. That passing game right now is just putting up amazing numbers. So I like San Diego. I think Denver will have a lot of problems covering those guys. Champ Bailey's out there, I know. You got Dawkins out there, but I still think those guys get stretched. So that's my picks for the week. In other news, we had Martinez with the sensational KO of Paul Williams last night in boxing. Wow. It was like I was grabbing some popcorn before I could even put it in my mouth. Game over. Night. MMA, Rampage beats Machida. I really was surprised. I thought Machida was going to pull it off, but Rampage didn't think he won the fight. I thought he won the fight. I thought he did enough to win the fight. I thought it was a close fight, but I agree with Dana White. I thought it was a good fight, but I think Rampage was just giving him a lot of credit being a sportsman. After the fight, if you don't know, he really talked about how he felt that he got his ass whooped. I thought it was a good fight, and I think they may fight again, because I don't know if they're going to get the winner of the Rua Evans fight that's coming up shortly. Matt Hughes getting knocked out by BJ Penn. Pretty much, I wasn't surprised at all about that. That's my show for the week. Thanks for watching, guys. See you.